Good evening, or should I say goddag. This is an introduction video about our third season of WORKAWAY trial series. We're gonna explain a little bit how it's gonna be. It's a trip from Ørsta, where we are now, to the Atlantic roads, Trondheim to Tromsø, Lofoten, and then Trondheim and back to Ørsta. It's about in total 4,000 kilometers, so it's gonna be a long way.
So, as Bastiaan said, we are going to the northern part of Norway, and this is gonna be like a survival tour because the northern part of Norway is like 1/3 of the total area of Norway, but the population is only 10% of the total population. So there's like a lot of wilderness and not so many people, so we will have to see how we're gonna survive out in the big wilderness.
Another thing about northern Norway is the fact that it's going to be 24 hours of daylight, in other words, midnight sun. So we're gonna have even more time to explore. So no sleeping for us, only exploring.
Yes.
That was a joke, and still.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so by the time we arrive in Tromsø, it's gonna be 24 hours of sunlight, and going up to Tromsø is gonna be increasing more and more sunlight. Crazy! And then, of course, we're gonna sleep in a tent because it's survival tour, and we can do that because of the thing called allemannsret, which means that you can camp everywhere you want here in Norway. There's just a few rules to follow, and it could be like you have to camp at least 2 meters away from private houses.
200.
Oh, that makes that makes more sense. So 200 meters away from private
area.
Yes. Yes.
Private area. And it's also a bit like an experiment because we're gonna look how cheap we can travel all to the north. So we're gonna keep an eye on our expenses. We're gonna make a list, and we're also gonna use like connections on the way to Tromsø to use our charmings and our our like skills in exchange for, you know, WORKAWAY concepts, accommodation and food and facilities.
So our goal is to see how cheap we can travel in the northern part of Norway.
Yeah.
And that means really, really cheap. So as we said, we're gonna do it by sleeping in a tent and using our social network, by using the concept of WORKAWAY, where we give a little work or I don't know what people need, and then they help us with like charging our electronics and maybe some food, or maybe just let us borrow the kitchen. Another interesting thing we're gonna try out is the thing called dumpster diving, and it is a thing here in Norway.
Grab fruit from a rubbish bin and eat it.
Yes.
But of course there are some tricks to actually know that it's not rotten.
Stay tuned. But before we can go on this trip, there is of course a lot of preparations, and that includes...
We are borrowing a car of our neighbor, which we had to like fix because there were some problems. We had to change parts of it to actually make it drive good without any problems on the way. Plus the fact that we had to make it clean and remove the back seats, and we've got some mattresses and put it in the back of the car. So if we cannot use the tent because of the worst circumstances of weather or bears, who knows, my nose, then we can sleep in the car.
And we actually also had to cut those mattresses to actually fit in the car.
Yes.
But the most important thing was, of course, to find a name for the car. And you came up with that, Bastiaan. What was it?
Dejligt.
And if you don't know, it's like a connection of delightful and dejligt is a Danish word, so it's delightful. Wow.
Denglish.
Yeehaw! And since we borrowed the tent from a borrow store here in Ørsta, we also needed to test the tent because you never know if it's waterproof, and you don't want to end up in a swimming pool when you're sleeping. So we went to, you have probably seen the video, we can link it right here or there or...
Don't point so much, too much edit work.
We went to Gjeranger to test the tent, and as you probably have already seen in that video, it was delightful. It was a perfect tent. So, it was dejligt.
And our goal is also to take as less stuff as possible with us. That's not correct English, but I don't care. So we made a packing list
Another important thing is, of course, to plan the route, because you can't really just go without knowing where to go. So we did that too. But you're gonna hear more about the route while we're on the road. So stay tuned for this
road trip.
Crazy season of WORKAWAY travel series. It's gonna be what is the name of the season? 4,000 kilometers, a road trip through northern Norway, or something like that.
Yeah, let's go.
4,000 kilometers road trip in Norway. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. No, don't you.
Thanks, Mar.